Hi, Ranvir.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. Good evening.
So, mountaineering have confined into room.
Yes. It is indoor mountaineering.
Indoor mountaineering. Yes, Kanan, yes, we mean, sir. I have called Digambar also here with me. He's also one of the
Hi,
member of
Digambar.
IMF.
Good evening.
So he will be assisting me just in case I need to give some demonstration on the wall of the room.
Hello.
Okay, so I think we are ready to
अरे
start.
पर हमारा क्लास चालू ऑनलाइन
Okay, we're ready to start. I think welcome everyone. I would request all the participants to be on mute and except for the speakers. Speakers are today. I will just tell you. Just let me admit a few more people. Okay.
Yeah.
So welcome to the IMF online courses. Today our subject is fixed rope and use of fixed rope and anchor building. The course will be conducted, it's a workshop really, which will be conducted by Mr. Ranvir, Negi and Mr. Debabrata Mukherjee. Mr. Ranvir Negi, all of you must have heard about him. He has been a chief instructor in NIM. He has been an instructor in NIM for 30 years. Very talented, experienced climber who has climbed Shisha Pangma, Chokamba, first ascent of Chokamba 2. He has done the first ascent of Sargorini 1, Satopant, Mukut East, and many other expeditions. Very well-known, talented climber and instructor. He is one of the speakers today. The other speaker today is Debabrata Mukherjee. Debabrata Mukherjee, as you know, is also a highly experienced climber and explorer. He is a qualified UIA leader, climbing leader, and he has done immense amount of exploration, like the exploration and new routes like Chowkhamba Call, and he has climbed Bhagirathi 3, and he has done many other explorations and expeditions, regularly climbs in India and in the Caucasus Mountains and other places like in the Alps. Recently, he also climbed Mont Blanc. So, very experienced climber, very knowledgeable. He has also been an instructor for several years, and I'm sure that you will find very useful today. My name is Wing Commander Amit Chaudhary. I've been Vice President, Honorary Secretary, and Chairman of many committees in the IMF. Currently, I am the Chairman of the Steering Committee, Mountaineering Steering Committee. We are, besides these courses, earlier we have done some webinars, which was primarily Mr. Maninder Kohli had organized those webinars where a lot of speakers had spoken. But this is the first time that we are going to have an program like this. So I welcome you all for this. I'm quite sure that it will be a very interesting and enlightening session. So with that, I will hand over to Mr. Ranvir Negi, who will take you through the first stage of this online workshop. What we will do is that we will have some question and answer, and as you know that it's where there are 100 participants, it is very difficult to have any question and answer. But we will use a particular method where if you go to the chat like I've given now, and over here you type question, so that I will know that you want to ask a question. You write question and write your name after that, like so. And once you have done this, then I will come to know that somebody is asking a question, and I will allow that person to ask the question after unmuting him. So without spending much time now, I know there are a few people who are still waiting to join. Already we have got 66 participants. 100 is the maximum number that can come. We hope that they will all be able to join in soon. But here goes. I think Ranvir, if you are ready, then we can start. Your presentation is already there. I'm sure everybody can see the screen. And here we will start with the presentation, and there will be many other also demonstrations which the instructors today will be giving. You know that in the pandemic we have not been able to go out anywhere, and therefore we have used anything available within the house, within their own homes, for all the demonstrations. We could not use an outdoor location, although ideally it would have been very nice to be outdoors. Okay, over to Ranvir. It's over to you now. You can start, please.
Good evening, one and all. Today I have prepared a lecture on six-stroke, though it should have been actually in outdoor, but because of this pandemic, like Wing Commander Chaudhary have already mentioned, whatever we could do and manage inside the room, we are preparing this inside. So I have prepared PowerPoint presentation on the fixed rope. So, like you can see why fixed rope is required. This is actually the fixed rope is a conventional style, and conventional style it is, and popular. It was popular in mountaineering expedition. It takes longer, and it is used for the longer period of expedition. Large number of members can participate in this event. The rope is fixed all the way to summit, most popular in India and in Nepal, and especially in Himalaya also. Next slide, please. Okay, now I'll switch on to the why fixed rope is required. Fixed roping is required in mountaineering expedition of longer period, mainly over 7,000 meters over peak and above. In low height of a mountain, it is fixed on a portion of a very steep, difficult terrain. On moderate angle of a slope, it is fixed for low skilled member of a team or a member faring low in upper camp and faring downward also, and for the porter, those who have not been climbing on a difficult terrain. Next slide, please. The essential equipment required actually for the fixed rope is most preferably the static rope is best for it because it doesn't have the elasticity in it, and when you put your Jumar on this, you don't really swing down and up, and you consume less of energy in it. And the piton would require for fixing rope is all time. It may be on rock or it may be on ice, and fixed roping is not done all alone on the ice or exclusively on rock or exclusively on the snow. There may be a situation you are climbing on ice, your front point is on ice in a gully, and you are fixing rope on the rock. You are looking for a crack for a piton to be driven in. There may be snow in the gully, and then again you look at very shallow snow, less depth of snow, and you are looking for ice to be driven and take protection. Snow stake and snow fluke is also one of the anchor which may require. Carabiner plane will require carabiner screw, in fact, Jumar, harnesses, sling, belay devices, and etc. Now I would switch on to the technique, the process, how fixed rope is done. So basically, there will be, say, assume that you are a two climber or followed by a number of a climber. The first point is taken on the bottom of, okay, the fixed rope is done in the two way. Actually, in olden time, there used to be a climber, they used to fix the same rope of same rope which is being used for the climbing, and there used to be another technique. A rope top team used to climb up, and the lead climber carry extra rope with a chain coil and keep fixing it all along with it. So the process of the first method would be drive a piton, or it may be or a ice piton or a snow stake or a rock piton in the bottom of the climb. Stack the rope properly close to the anchor to avoid entangling the rope. Butterfly coil is preferred the best for this. So it shouldn't be like you're carrying a rope on your shoulder or inside the rucksack, and you reach in the bottom of a climb and you just start climbing and you start belaying the climber, and resultantly climber reaches in between and the rope, you find your climb finally ending up with the entangling rope below you, and you have put your climber in danger. So it should always be stacked properly, or preferably the butterfly knot. Hopefully everybody knows about this. That should be practiced. Once he fixes the piton, there must be a two piton driven in, one for the self anchor, other for fixing the rope. and thereafter he will fix the end of the rope with the anchor and prepare the next slide, please. Next. Okay, I'll keep carrying on. Yeah, so belayer will put the Jumar on the fixed rope. The belayer will anchor himself with the piton driven with and will pass the belay rope through a second climber. A fully geared climber carry all required anchor along with will start climbing, reaching at a stipulated point. He will prepare two anchor there again, one for self anchor and other for the rope to be fixed. Making safe himself at this stance, lead climber will pull up the whole rope of whole lot of slack up with making butterfly coil and drop it either on the tension rope. Tension rope will be your self anchor, and with the anchor, when you lay on the anchor, it get tension. So you find the butterfly coil is wrapped on. So butterfly coil with the short sling and anchor with the piton. After pulling whole rope up, keeping 1.5 meters of a slack, if the rope is being fixed on the vertical axis, actually, on the rope are fixed with the second piton with clove hitch knot, belayer can ascend up with the help of Jumar. So on belayer will put the Jumar on the fixed rope, remove self anchor from the piton and place it ahead of Jumar. Like you can see in the picture, there is the piton driven in and the rope behind. He first of all he removed his self anchor from the Jumar, from ahead of the Jumar, and he clipped it with the rope above the knot, and followed by the Jumar. So belayer on reaching lead climber will clip his self anchor on the same piton where lead climber is anchored with, and start belaying climber, and same process will be repeated on the fixed rope ahead. If there is any question on this, please. Anybody?
Let us ask the question at the end, or if nobody is, anybody is interested in asking the question, you have to put, so let me just repeat that anybody who wants to ask a question, you must put question in the chat. Like this, you put question and you write your name. Like I have done, please write your name and put it in the chat box like this, so that we come to know that there is somebody who wants to ask a question. Yeah, please carry on, Ranvir. Sorry.
Next slide, please. So the method 2 will be, like I mentioned, the method first, and method 2 is a roped up team of 2 or 3 with a dynamic rope can fix the static rope meant for fixing on the slope. In this method, climbers climb the mountain face with the help of belay, maybe with the dynamic rope, and simultaneously the rope is fixed on the slope. In this method, lead climber carries the fixed rope himself in his rucksack, neatly stacked with the chain coil on it. Other climbers follow him with the help of fixed rope. But the demerit of this method is that the lead climber have to carry the rope himself, who at the same time needs to be lighter and unencumbered. Next slide, please. So uses of the how rope has to be used. So once rope has been fixed on the slope, how it will be used, what point one have to remember in his mind, that the gear up gear up properly, and put your Jumar on the fixed rope. Keep yourself anchor ahead of Jumar while moving on vertical fixed rope. On reaching to anchor point, remove self anchor first and clip it ahead of anchor point on the fixed rope, followed by Jumar. So it can be seen in the picture 2 and picture 3, picture 1, 2, 3. So this method will be followed. Next, please. So once rope has been fixed, rappelling is a vital part on this. How rappelling has to be done on the fixed rope is. There are several methods of rappelling on fixed rope. Preferably, carabiner break is considered the best. Other methods such as figure of 8 descender, Italian hitch, and twisting rope around the carabiner create twist on the rope below and make your descent troublesome. Always clip your self anchor on the anchor before switching from the one fixed rope to other. So it has been seen number of times that you would have gone a number of expedition and you have been using rope for rappelling, and people have been rappelling with the figure of 8 descender and sometime twisting on carabiner and Italian hitch, which resulted the fixed rope into a big, huge kink close to the anchor below. So the best method we consider is the carabiner break for such technique, depending on fixed rope. Next slide, please. So rope fixed in traverse must be tight. These are the points that one has to remember always in mind. When you fix the rope vertically, it has, like I mentioned before in the previous slide, that while you are fixing rope on the vertical axis, it has to be loose by 1.5 meter, and when it is being fixed, it has to be tight, so that sometime when you go in the traverse, you cut the step for yourself, and if the rope is loose, you either can use those steps or you use the rope only. And if the rope is loose, the rope will create a sag on the slack rope, and sometimes when you reach on the slack point, you would need again a Jumar to pull yourself up. There are several methods of rappelling on. Next slide, please. This is next slide. Okay, so the length of Jumar, when you get gear up yourself for Jumaring, your length of Jumar from your harness shouldn't be higher than your eye level. So longer it goes, time may come when you are proceeding up with the Jumar, you get tired, and the moment you left it grip or you want to catch it back, you won't be able to catch it back because of maybe you are tired too much. So it has to be always at the eye level. It shouldn't go beyond that. And your Jumar will be always in your reach, even if you lose the grip from the Jumar. There must not be more than one climber on a fixed rope. Your anchor may come off with the come off if more than one person rode the rope. Always rappel with the mitten on. Avoid jerky movement while rappelling. Always join rope near anchor point. Only or else rappelling wouldn't be possible. Each point must be firmly driven in 4 anchors. And tested with the laying jerk on it, so that you affirm yourself that you are safe. Next slide, please. So that was it. And in addition, I would like to mention about the fixed rope is when you are fixing the rope on the ice slope, it has been always observed during, I have been climbing in a mountain, when the ice piton were driven into ice slope in the daylight, under scorching heat. The periphery side of the piton got melted, and when you lifted the rope, and all piton came off like the garland. So always drive them deeper and see that if you can cover it with a rock or cover it under snow. If the snow is not available, Abala Cove is a technique that they will be telling you about the technique, how it is prepared, and what is the technique for the preparation. This is the best. You can cut 1.5 feet of a rope and drive 2 pitons sideways or vertical axis or the horizontal axis, and pass the piece of rope and tie a knot on this, and you can make a firm grip with this. This will never melt. This will never come out. Once the water goes inside, it gets frozen and never come out, and which would be very, very safe for all kind of climb on the ice. And at least on the top of the rope and in the bottom of rope, or one in the middle, if it is there, will be safe. Any question about this? And anybody want the demonstration inside the room that I can show you the drill?
There is a question, Ranvir, and this Satyajit Mandal is asking that question. I will just ask him. I will unmute it so that he can ask. No, unmute nahi ho raha hai. So I will ask the question. Basically, what he is saying is, wouldn't an ATC descender prove suitable for rappelling rather than carabiner bake?
Yeah, ATC descender is also good, but if you have ATC and those sophisticated equipment, nothing like it. There are several other equipment also, like rack bar is there, and ATC is there, and even if you have a carabiner, you can put a rock piton and turn over on the carabiner. I can show. Can you give me the piton, please? The piton hoga, piton. Yeah, piton here and a carabiner. Like this is the piton, and the piton can be kept like this, and the loop of the rope is pulled through this, put this like this, and rope come over there. This piton also can be used. You say piton, and you clip the piton in, okay, and pull the rope inside from inside this. Suppose this is your rappelling rope. Pull it like this. You can keep it like this. Okay. And you can so there are several methods. I insisted for carabiner because most of the time carabiner is used, and carabiners are handy and readily available all the time. So best method, I thought carabiner brake is good.
So there is another question from Vikram Malik. Can you also brief on SRENE principle? I don't know what this is.
Serene method is going to be covered in the belaying and anchoring the next lesson.
Okay.
You should stay tuned for that.
So then some Mr. M.M. Pal is saying that it was not seen. What was not seen? Mr. M.M. Pal, can you just write what you could not see? What was not seen in the demo? You could not see the demo. So I think
Once more
Ranvir,
again.
you can show the demo once again. If you can just go a little back, थोड़ा सा पीछे जाके वो demo दिखा दीजिए एक बार.
थोड़ा पीछे जाके रणवीर.
Yes, yes, yes. एक मिनट. You can see this. Everybody can see this. Okay.
Yes, yes, Ranvir.
So he wanted to see the demonstration through the piton. So what I did is I pulled the loop to this carabiner. And first of all, I will clip this piton here and pull this loop out from the carabiner. Place this piton here. Okay. And this can come harness here. You see? This is basically the rock piton, and I have used this for repelling. Okay. You see?
Ranvir, safety view carabiner also screw carabiner use.
Yeah, here you have to use always screw carabiner. Actually, I arranged these equipment from a local vendor here, and couldn't get the screw gauge carabiner. Basically, screw gauge carabiner has to be there so that you are always safe. And here you can use a piton, you can use two carabiner, or you know, several other things. You can put the ice piton also. So this is the one of that braking carabiner brake technique.
Okay, this Akshay Tyagi is asking a question. Actually, I couldn't understand the question. He's saying that is a technique also usable on overhand? So
I didn't get it.
Yeah, I also didn't understand. Can you clarify your question? Meanwhile, I'll go to the next question, which is from Jogo Byasa Bhoi. He is asking whether 9mm, 8mm, or 6mm rope, which is the best rope that can be used for fixed rope.
Preferably, it should be always 9 mm meter of rope we always use, because there's two benefit of it. If you use below 8 mm, you may not be able to, many Jumar, the Jumar you use on this, they may slip. And once the rope has been fixed in the mountain, once it gets wet, it gets floated into snow, your Jumar may slip on the rope below 9 mm. You use beyond 9 mm, your rope is going to be heavy and costly also. So preferably it should be 9 mm, and in the rare cases you can go for 8 mm, and never 6 mm or 7 mm.
Okay, so Vikram Malik has another interesting question. Actually, I also wanted to ask this question. You know, with the carabiner gate is the weakest in the carabiner. Actually, that is the weakest portion in the carabiner. So what his concern is that will it take the weight and all the jerks?
I couldn't get this question because there was
no. When you are putting when you have put the piton and it is on the carabiner gate. See, the weight is coming on the carabiner gate. The weight is coming on the carabiner gate.
Yeah.
So, but
Here,
that,
here.
yeah, on the gate, but it is a weakest part of the whole carabiner, and that his question is whether it takes the all the weight and the jerks.
Okay, nowadays in all the manufacturer have they have put the braking strength of carabiner everywhere. Whether it is if it is used in this axis, they have written here that this way it can take 25 kN, and this way it can take 1400 km or 1200 km. So you can clarify which direction he should actually use it. And if his question is this, that when I was using this piton for the carabiner brake, and the load of this was going on the gate, but again the weight of the climber is being distributed, and the weakest part of the gate is the rivets used in the gate. So when the load is coming this way,
थोड़ा सा पीछे
this
लीजिए,
this
दिखाई नहीं
has
दे रहा
equal
है,
strength. Yeah,
थोड़ा सा
if the weight is coming this way on this, so it is equally strong as it is here. If the weight is coming this way or outer way, so weight is coming on the rivet. So rivet is the weakest point. It depends on the person how he is using and whether he is looking at the condition of the carabiner, or in what direction carabiner is falling when you are loading.
Okay, so I think that is that's all the question that we have so far. And if we have any further question, then we'll come back subsequently. Let us move on to the next part of the workshop, and this is being conducted by Debabrata, and of course we'll come to Debabrata in a short while. Let me share the okay, let me share this. Right. So, Debabrata, you can start. This is the part which Debabrata will cover, and then later on we can ask all the questions. Thank you. Thank you, Ranvir. We'll come back once for
Sure,
more
sir.
questions. We'll come back.
I'll stay tuned.
Please stay online. Don't go away, because I'm quite sure there will be many.
Yeah. I'll stay tuned. Not going.
Thank you, Amit sir, and thank you, Ranvir ji, for such a nice, speech and workshop. Some of the things I even forgot. We always forget. What I just reckon that most of the people here are the mountaineers, so they are well versed with the row fixing, anchoring, etc. I know it happens that even in the I was in one of those climbathon and have seen those mountaineers who had their courses before, and they were in the climbathon. They were doing things fine, but they were a little bit less, confident. In mountaineering, I think that what we need most is the confidence. But of course, the confidence should be built on the knowledge, experience, and try and error method. So that's what we are going to do today. Actually, we all are very much bored, inside the houses, not in the Himalayas. At least Ranvir sir is in Dehradun, and Digambar sir is also there. So, but we need to use those. So just to, just a little bit of brushing up some of the knowledges. I know that you all know all of this, but still trying to make it. You know that so far we were going through that fixed ropes. So the rope fixing, where it ends or starts, the anchoring starts. Of course, during the rope fixing, we also anchor at point or place protection. That those are not anchoring. In fact, those are the placing the protections. Anchor, the terminal protection in the beginning and in the end, those are known as anchor. I think quite a lot of you or most of you have seen the ships near the port. You know that not all the ships are on the port where they are loading, unloading. You will find a long queue of ships are there, and they are tied in only one buoy or maybe two buoys for their protections so that they don't float away. So that time they use only one not so strong things, but once they arrived at the port, they have to tie very strongly in the front, in the back, in the middle, so they should not move during the loading, unloading. And here is that what comes in the mountaineering too, this loading, unloading. While going the fixed rope, we just use our body weight, only a single person's body weight on those protection places or those protection points, which may be the natural or using the various kind of instruments like equipments like the pitons, cams and frames and pickets and ice screws, etc. Or maybe in the nature we find other things. But those we are using for a very short period, and those are supported by the another protection point down there or the protection point up there. Sir, I can't see myself in the screen. Can you please, my screen, I can't see. So I don't know whether you can hear me.
Yeah, we
Amit
can
sir,
hear
can you
you.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I cannot see in the small box there. So I was quite confused. Okay, and now it's okay. So that's
Can you
what's
also
going on
see
there.
the presentation?
Yes, I can see. Yes, I can see that one. It's there. It's on the board. So that's the main thing. So when we reach a place, the terminal place, or when we start to do one climbing, we need to anchor it strong, because that point will bear the load of not only me, it will bear the load of a lot of things. It will bear the load of me, myself, as well as the other climber, my second, or the lead climber who is going to, climb more from there, or that point will be taking also load when we'll be hauling our stuff from the midpoint. But in the midpoint, maybe there is, if it's a multi-pitch climbing, generally in mountaineering, we have the multi-pitch climbing. So it should be very strong and a bomber point or a bomber protection points, which should not be moving or should not be going off unless it bombed off. So this bomber point should be there, and that should be very, very strong. So instead of, when we make this, the anchoring or place that protection, instead of placing one point, we put several points. Maybe you can see in the screen now that we generally put 2 points, which is minimum. We put 2 points, or even sometimes we put 3 points. You can see that the climber obelay, when he's obelay, he's with another point. He's also kind of ready if you put that extra, that's a anchor on the top, ready for the climbing above or starting again for the next pitch there. So please, next one, please. So that's what we need. So that, yeah. So this is how to equalize two anchor points. Now it's coming that. So the main difference between that, the rope fixing and anchoring, it's a multiple protection point we need. So which we can use for rappelling, belaying, hauling our stuff, even for, nowadays people have the bivouac and they use the portalage and those kind of stuffs they can hang. So of course, when you put only one piton or only no places to put one piton, just a cam or a knot in the rock itself, or just only one, the ice screw, and you don't know whether it will get melted or the ice condition will get stronger, something will come out. It's better to have some extra backup there. So while putting that one, the main thing of anchoring is to equalize the anchor point. Why? Because I said that is, we have to use this for the load. The main thing, the main word is the load. So if instead of giving the whole load, suppose I'm 100 kilos weight, and if I give the whole weight of me to one point here, only 1 point, then what happens? The whole load 100 kilo will come up there. But if I use that 2 points, you can see on my back, if I use the 2 points, then, and if I can equalize the balance, then my weight will be given, instead of 100 kilos on 1 point, it will be 50 kilos. So less chances of that to come out from that, instead of 100 kilos. And how we do this to get that maximum load divided into 2, that is 50-50. So we know, so next one please. Next slide please. Yes. So this is a vector angle and the anchor load distribution for the equalization. We need the equalization for many reasons. That one. First one, of course, is the when we go for this, division of the loads. So here it is given that what happens when we give the angle here, down here, that is the angle. In between the angles there, the angle comes into in between 45 degrees. Then it's divided mostly 50 kilos and 50 kilos. If my weight taking that 100 kilos, say it's saying the 100%, you can think of 100% in that way. But if it is more than 60, then what happens? Then the load goes to 58% on each. If it's more than 90, it becomes about 90, then it's 1%. And then if it goes more than 100%, 20 degrees, then it goes 100%, 100%, which is not at all acceptable. And there is no meaning of then 2 points, using 2 points. Using of 1 point is enough then. Above 90 degree angle, if there is, while equalization is like that. And how to, that measure that whether it's more than 45 degree or not, it's very easy. In fact, it's very easy. Less than 60%, anything less than 60% is okay. But it's always, the best is below 45%. How we do that? So if you find that the line coming down straight, if this one, the shorter arm, if you make it like this, if it going beyond, that means it's below 60%, because when we make like that, it will be like in the triangular way, is the the same angle triangle of 60 degree each it will become. So if this one goes beyond this line, it is always that. So it should be always a little bit longer than the straight line of that. So if it's longer than this, it's okay. It's below 60 degree, and that could be easily measured in that way. So that's what we do. Then it comes that also that which way we should, next slide please. Next slide, sir. So yeah, and then it comes, any one of them, okay. So next slide, yes. So now it comes that the direction, it's also that we have to think about the direction of the anchor, means the fall line, that which, because even if it is that 45, but if it is that pulled in a different way, it will be only one anchor is getting the pressure this side. You see, this is loose. Or if it comes this way, this is loose. So in that case, we make, we know that the climber is coming down from straight. So then it's a unidirectional anchor. In that case, we make it straight. We make it just over here, make a knot, and the climber will come down only from straight from here. But if there is the traverse, going on, there is some, next slide please. If there is any traverse in the route, the second is coming traverse portion. The next plate, traverse portion, then we make the anchor multi-directional. And how we can do it is a bit similar. You can see it's going the same way. I made 2 knots, just like the side one, and then we make a loop. It just, you can see over here, I just is saying, going on, I just make a small loop here, and through the loop, I pass it, and then the master station is ready. So when I move this way, it should be really clean and nice, so that the movement should be very, very easy. So if I move this way, I cannot pull it very hard. Then it's, and then this way it moves, and this way it moves. I must open up a little bit, please. Yeah. So when I pull this way, it goes, direction changes, is also direction changes. It's easy to change the direction. The direction changes with that. So these are the multi-directional, and it's very easy to prepare that one. So the next one, please. Next slide. So making that one, the multi-directional is also easy. And if the terrain or we are not so sure about the the anchoring point or the protection places, like that one, I put one knot, one the cam, the frames, and then one pigeon, and we're not very sure that it might not that bomber. So we can play 3 points also. And in that 3 points, how we can join, you can make it similar, make it big over and dot over that, and connect the main station carabiner. All these carabiners you can see here, these are all screw carabiners. We should always use the screw carabiners while anchoring, because anchoring or rappelling or whatsoever, generally the plain carabiners are nowadays used only for hanging stops or just for the quick links. Those we are using the plain carabiners. The screw carabiners should be used for everything. And of course, whenever you have the screw carabiners, don't forget to screw it, because the screw it for for screw carabiner is this one for screwing it down to lock it. Otherwise, there is no meaning of having the screw, because I have seen many the people, they are using the screw carabiner very well. They know they have to use the screw carabiner, but they are not screwing it tight. Next slide, please. Yeah. And then again, that while anchoring, we have to, I know these things you know very well, that we should be very close to the actual body. Otherwise, it will give you the leverage and the piton might break. And when there is one, overdriven piton is there, you can use one, those wire nuts, wire stoppers, you can use those with the P of this piton or the I of the piton and use them. Next, please, to make it shorter and no leverage. Now we come with the next slide, please. So now we come with the various terrains.
Debabrata, there is one slight question actually people are having, that they can, since we are showing the video, the PowerPoint, they cannot see the demonstration very well. So maybe what we will do is, that once we have finished the PowerPoint, then we'll just come back and
I'll do that.
show the whole screen.
Okay, I'll do that.
And show the demonstration once again. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So next one there. Yes. Always the locking carabiner at the belay stations. No, the plain carabiners. Nowhere we should use. These are the some the kind of precautions we should take. Next, please. Yeah. While putting into the pitons, we have to be very careful that the gate should be, out, and so should be out, and it should not be giving the pressure on the piton, so it might break when going down. And always we should use the quick links in that way. Next. Next slide, please. And then it comes, now we are coming with there are 3 types of, the terrains. Usually we have the rock, snow, and ice. Rock, snow, and ice, we have 3 there. Please go back one. I have got that rock one, I think. Please go back one slide, please. Yes. So when we find there's a natural rock horns or the natural rock, that kind of a choke stone, something like that, is the next one slide. Not this one. It's with the rock horn. Yeah, this one. So you can see that one here too. When we if we find the rock horns or kind of the, if we have the choke stones, we have to also, still there, we have to remember that that angle that where from the main station will be created should, that below 45 degree, it should be. And that's how we do. It should be tightened and even given the longer, hanging a little bit longer, the anchor portion, so that it should not tie very tightly to the rock side. And it should be, the angle should be there. Next one. And now coming to the, so that the rock ones, I think those are like that. I think there are some questions there. I will take this question later. And then it comes on the snow. In snow also, actually, we have to be very careful, very, very careful, because the snow, there are three kinds of, the possibilities are there. We get some very hard snow, which is very nice if we get it. Otherwise, we get the back snow or the soft snow. And if we don't have anything like that, as Ranvir was telling, that less equipment, and then we have to make these bollards, which we call sometimes the horseshoe anchors, like that. We used to call it when we learned. But these bollards, the snow bollards, and it should be how it should be anchors. We can do is but the easy, the slope. We should not use this kind of things on really gradient more than 50 degrees or so. We should use them below 50 degrees. We can make these anchors and can rappel down. For those people that were the beginners, they need some anchors or belaying help. So for that, otherwise the people can also, till that angle, people can go down in different process. So it should be the height of the bollard on the upper slope. It should be like 30 centimeter or 1 feet, like that. And the diameter could be 1 to 3 meters. It depends on the condition of the snow. Is the next one. Next slide, please. No, it's not the one. Is the next? I think somewhere is missed. It's another slide. Can I go a little bit forward in the slides? There is another slide with how to make these bollard. There. Okay. So no. Okay, go back, please. No problem. That one I cannot find. It's with like making the angles of that. So yes, please go back. So when we make this, that's bollards. If it's a very hard snow, then what we do, it's about 0.5 meter. The diameter should be about 1 meter. It should be. And how we can do? Putting our, the wrist in the hand there. And I can just try to show you a little. Sorry, maybe show you later. That's one. It's about 1 meter diameter. It should be minimum. And then, if it is like the pack snow, it would be about 2 meters diameter. And if it is soft snow, it will be 3 meters diameter, the deep. So it should be. And how we can measure? It's you put your, the wrist, and from wrist to the end of the ice axe, if you make a round shape, it's about 0.5 meter. If you make from the elbow, from elbow, and put the ice axe on the top, and sorry, I don't have any ice axe, but like this, you do that, and then it comes like this. It's about, the diameter comes about 1 meter. And if it is the ice axe full hand, if you make the hand straight, it's like 3 meters diameter it becomes. So that's how we can measure. Next one, please. Yeah. And then we come for the picket, or this, which you call the snow stack and snow bars, like that. So when you use them, so we can have them in 3 different types. You can do that. One is the vertical top picket. Yeah, this you can call it is a kind of a snow bar or a picket. You know these things. And pickets are a little bit different looking, but they call it in the US and other places. But this is snow bar. So when there is a top clip like that on the top, it's not a top clip picket. When there's a vertical mid clip, means it should be put vertical way, and then vertical mid clip, then the clip should be in the middle, it tied there, and then it should be put vertically. And last one, the T-trench, and the T-trench anchor, that one, the strongest anchor, it says. I will come to the next one. As it written there, the climbing safety is your responsibility. No article or video can replace qualified instruction experience. Means we are trying to, tell these things by you have also learned in the course. Yeah, that is the one. That is with how you can measure the diameter of the bollard or diameter of those, yes, the horseshoe when you make it. So for the first one, the 0.5 meter is for the hard snow. For 1 meter is for the the pack snow, and for the softer snow, 1.5 meter it should be that one. So next one, please. Yeah. So how to place a vertical mid-clip picket? It's that is the first one. The mid clip is the middle. In the middle point of that, we don't use that one in India that much, I know. In the middle point of that, there is sometimes is a wire fixed up here, or sometimes there are holes are there. So for making it less wet, we put up the locks here and we put it there. We attach a sling in the midpoint, and then we just hammer it down. And what we do there, you can see that how to place that one. So here you can see that this is the perpendicular. Can you see? I will show you later maybe, or maybe this is the, if the angle is like that, this is the the gradient, then it will be the perpendicular like this. Then 15 to 25 degree it should go upwards, and then you can hammer it down to place it. Otherwise, there is chances it will come out. So you can see that is clearly given. So perpendicular to the surface, and then you go upwards towards the source here, another 15 to 25 degree you should go, and then you just hammer it down there. Next one, please. Vertical top picket is the similar thing, the same. You have to make perpendicular and 15 to 25 degree towards the surface. Is opposite to the load, and you hammer it down. But here, the carabiner or this, you just attach the rope from the top. Next. The next one. Yeah. And this is the mid clip. When you do the mid clip, you can see that is the thread or this sometimes the wire comes out, and you have to make one small trench straight towards the weight bearing or to the fall line directly. Otherwise, it will give the pressure on the snow surface, and the picket will come up slowly, jump out. So we have to make it sure that it goes straight down towards that. So we have to make a straight trench towards down, so that the whole picket is inside all the time. Next one. Yeah, but the best one for is that T-trench, or kind of a dead man, you can call it. That dead man also made with those, the rucksacks or any kind of stuffs. Ice axes also we make it, and of course we make it with the pickets as well, or these snowbars as well. So you tie it in the middle, and in the middle we just tie something, and then as you see, we make about a feet deep, some a long one, and then we just fix it up in the middle, and then we pull out again. A trench should be cut towards weight bearing, towards the load. A trench should be cut and then filled up from the top again by the snow, and stomp over that one. So it will, the whole body, as long as the whole body is there inside the snow mass. And to make it even stronger, what we do, the next slide please, we make 2 T-bars. Means 2 bars are placed in series, in fact, and then we just pull it. So if one fails, if we find that the snow is, the next slide please, if the snow is not that strong, it would help to stay in place if we just make that 2 T-bars or 3 T-bars. So it will be equal to making 2 or 3 points. Yes, you can see that the carabiner there, that trench is cut to giving the fall line, the weight, and then 1 T-bar is there, then again there is a line going on, and then there is another bar is there. So that way, this is, we don't follow that much. It's only in the Alps and other places they follow this way. Even 2 or 3 you can do. So it's very, very, yes, SOCD is there. So it could be done that way. Yeah, next one. We do, that is, yesterday I was, when we were getting ready, as Ranvir made me remember that one, the stomping is a stomper's belay or something. But stomper's belay means when you reach one place very quickly, only a second person or 2 persons are coming up, and it's a very good, the pack snow. at least pack snow, not in the soft snow, what we do, we put the ice axe, little bit that's 25 degree towards the upward slope, and we stomp it inside that. First you stomp it the place, then you stomp it down, that ice axe, and from the top of that, we clip, the top of the ice axe, we have those eyes where we can clip means carabiner, and we anchor through us, and then we can start belaying. But generally, we can't give direct belay to is we don't give it to that. We don't give direct belay from that ice axe, because if you give that one, there's enough chances that will come out, because we're standing, and we stand on the ice axe to give it much more the weight, our body weight too. But we belay from our hip or from our harness. We belay that. So that stomper's belay is there. So some other tips is that in softer snow, stomp down on the area to compact and harden the snow, because the snow is hard, wind is more strong. The basis. The deeps of the snow would be there, but as usual, if how deep the snow picket be, the softer the snow, I said the deeper down you should drive. So you have to stomp down like when we make the igloo, we make those blocks. Here too, you try to make like when you make the tent, you just walk on the place, make it a little bit hard, and then you put the snow stack on that one. Of course, with the experience and time, you'll learn it. And here is a similar thing. If you are not sure or making a real good, the illustration, or you have to haul something up, it's better to use 2 anchors. And then again, is the same thing, which we told you, it should be below 60 degree, the angle of this for the equalization, it should be there. And instead of the 2, you can use even 3. It depends on that what you feel that time. It's all only with the experience you will learn that one. And always it's better to check the the strength of these belay points. You just hold it tight, or jerk it 3-4 times, or maybe in your carabiner and with another anchor, extra anchor, a longer anchor, you can just pull it down to check that whether it is coming out or not. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. Here are some things to keep in mind. That is, make sure the anchors are placed in different zones, so that if one were to fail, the affected snow would not also cause that. So there should come, in the snow especially, there should be some a little bit difference, because the snow moves easily. So usually there is some differences should be there. Keep the angle formed is already showed there, the 60 degrees I showed you there. Next one. And next, yeah. So you can see now we're coming to the ice. Ice also is quite similar with the rock. That is, you have to put strong, the pitons here, and at least 2 points needed. If needed, 3 points are needed, and it should be very clean and nice. And again, for all the anchors, first clean the place, and please just observe the place, how it is going on. Next one. Yes. So you can see that it should be a flat surface. It should not be just in the middle like that. That is not a very good ice portion. The block might come down. So all the piton should be on the flat surface, and all should reach till the end, the ice screw. So if the base rock is there and the ice screw is not going, either use a smaller ice screw, or use, that's tying off the neck of the ice screw there. But use the full ice screw there, and on a the clear and clean surface where there is no cracks, or there is no the crumpy ice is there. Next one, please.
Debabrata, your microphone is rubbing somewhere, so it's yeah. There's a little bit of static which is coming through.
Okay, is it okay now?
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, next one. Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah. So, and also you have to be very, very careful about where you are putting the, the ice screw. If it is for longer time on a really, the sunny side of the ice wall, and always on the eastern face or something like that, the ice screw might come out. So we have to be very, very careful about those things. Also, the angle of the ice screw should be there. You can see all those, what is yes and what is no. Next one, please. Next one.
It's already
Yes.
there.
Yeah, I know it's coming a little bit late for me. I don't know. So it's minimum 50 centimeter between two eye screws should be there. That is about about 1.5 feet. It's like that. So it should be minimum 50 centimeter between two eye screw pointing there. All other things are similar. The 2 points or 3 points what you do. Next one. So you have to be very, very careful when you make these ice points are there. And then comes, which is now we talk about this, keeping the mountain clean, ecologically climbing, and leaving nothing there. So that's how this Avalakov, has come, and we have to use this one. Then that is V. We call it the V thread or Avalakov thread going on, and there for that we need the XL size of the the ISEX, which is about 21 centimeter or 8 inches. Is 8 inches or 21 centimeter. That's the minimum one needed. And also we need to carry this hook, that's multi-hook. It's easy to make that one in India. In India we do all the things improvised. So that you can make with a cycle spoke. It's cycle wheel spoke. You can make the hook there. You can with some hardware store or somewhere, and you can get these hooks for making that. And to make it, there should be some 60-degree. So it's easy again. This is going on. So if you make the difference, you will find that how it does. You make 60-degree angle that way. And how you do the next side, please. So we'll see that yeah. So it goes straight that way, and you can see this is a hazy kind of a hazy eye screw showing down there. So if you put the ISEX like that, this is the difference between the whole two. So if you just make that and this way, it will meet at 60-degree, all that. So that is the best way it comes there. Yes, someone wrote that one made with with umbrellas spoke to. Okay, next one, please. So if you take this one between the hole, if you take the hole start from this side and this side, then it goes. Yeah. So again, it should be the equalization of that weight, so it should not melt down easily or get the pressure of the ice. So it should be longer, and the end of that should be 45-degree when you pull it down the master point for the belay, the belay clip or the carabiner. Next one. Yeah. So here we have got a kind of a graph that what happens there. It's taken that about minus 9-degree, 8-degree, and 9-degree temperature. If it's about A means the difference, this one between the holes are 10 centimeter. What happens? That means a smaller. You are taking a smaller, not smaller. Even the screw is long, but if you made only 10 centimeter, what happens? It gives you 6 to 7 kilonewton only. Here, kilonewton only. But if it is 15 centimeter, you get 10 to 11 kilonewton. But it's 20 centimeter, this 8 inches, if the difference between the holes, when you make it the threading, that is this way, and 21 centimeter, this way and that way. So there, what happens? It gets the maximum. You can see the temperature like that, and would be coming down. But if it is, the temperature goes up, if you see the temperature goes up, that's up to 4 to 5-degree or maybe 3-degree or 2-degree, is better to make 2 threading or 2 Avalakov, because then the ice cap, the holding capacity goes. And that if the temperature is above the freezing, is better to make 3 points then. Next one, please. Yeah. So here you can see that. So its Avalakov is done in the screen there with the left one, and then the right one, the climber is already attached with another anchor. So when you do these things, do that, finish one. Most of the other people use the main anchor as well. Avalakov you use for the last person mostly, or you can use for the others too, but then you better use 2 Avalakov, in fact. Next one. So that is when you were climb, just think about the thing. Everybody, just see this, the picture there. Everything should be clean. Whenever you climb, make any illustration. Whenever you change stuff, calm and cool, keep calm, and be very, very neat and clean. So you can see that generally the nowadays the Alps and everybody, they try to climb with 2 half ropes, and mostly they, even in the ice, they make kind of sport route kind of things, but they climb with the 2 half ropes or using the weights, the loads on 2 ropes alternatively. So here the main climber, which is with the orange trouser, he is using one orange rope and one gray rope. And both of them are first with clovage, he anchored him. And then he just made this anchor point, the below station. He belayed with this in the middle of the screen, that is the below station. And when the second climber arrived, he also anchored him there. And you can see that
I think we have lost sound from Debabrata, so we'll just wait for him to reconnect. Okay, we'll just wait for 5 minutes for.
yeah, I am there.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what's happening. So I was just talking about that neat and clean. You should be neat and clean. Keep your wheel station or the anchor very, very, neat and clean. So you can see that his anchor points are there. His second person's anchor when he arrived there. Even the belay rope, which he pulled back when his second came, he kept it nicely just above his harness. You can see that it's a double rope climbing, using some 2 half ropes. So it was like that. So it should be very neat and clean, calm and quiet. You should be always very confident about your anchors. So when you make it, if an anchor is the strong enough, that's someone was talking about that. I think the last one, and I should talk a little bit of that one. That's about the serene, which is talking about that serene mean S for the strong, E for the equalized, then redundant, then efficient, and no extension. If you can make those serene, but it's sometimes it's quite difficult to do all this, because as Ranvir sir was telling, to use that the carabiner brake bar instead of using those ATCs and reverso, etc. Because in India we don't have that many equipment still. But to make this equalized and serene is possible to do that one. It's very easy. And if I want to talk about the serene, it will take another 2 hours, I think. So we can talk on that other subject, and it's you can Google it. It's very good that the subjects came up, so that you can Google it and find everything is written very nicely in Google. So this is just initiations. No workshop can give you a total knowledge on anything. It's ultimately the practical experience, the practice, and of course, what giving you questions. You can just, nowadays is very easily available in Google, all the YouTubes. We are not showing you the videos here, but you can see those in the YouTube as well. Once you just need to type and find those things. Yeah. Next, I think it's over for that. So next, now the questions, if anybody.
So thank you, Debabrata. I think we have got a few questions, and I'll just see if I can invite some of the participants to ask the question. So Vikram Malik, you can ask your question, please.
Yeah, hi, this is Vikram here. So, see, Himalayas usually have metamorphic rocks, which are good to hold pitons or everything that you drive in. What would be the best tool if we are putting an anchor on a sedimentary or a slate rock, would a SLCD be better because it keeps the pressure on? So that was my question, because on various kind of rock faces, we should be using various kind of tools, right?
I know. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, when you have the tools, you are supposed to use them. In fact, it's a sport. We are not there to die. Of course, we'll try our best to go beyond our limit, but we need to enjoy it. So the protection and safety is the first and the last word for mountaineering or any kind of adventure sports, I think, for me at least. So when you were talking about the different kind of rocks, in the pitons also, there are different kind of pitons are there. The soft steel is there, the hard steel is there. So you can use the soft steels, those RAR, the ultimate reality pitons, those are, which can take the shapes of that, and it can bend. So you can use them, and also you can use the cams, of course, are there, and then the angular pitons you can use. Angular pitons are better, so it can take if it is a little bit the brittle there too, it can hold much better than the normal pitons, in fact.
Sure, roger that, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Next question, please.
So then Rohit Mishra, just let me find you. Rohit. Okay. Rohit, please ask your question.
Hello, sir. If I'm audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. So, my question is regarding this thing, the snow bar, the snow bars. So, generally, when we go for the expedition, and we have been taught in this thing, courses also, that you have to insert the snow bar, the 100%. It's like not middle way. You have to put this thing, if you are using that PP rope in between, so you have to put in the second last or the last hole of the snow bar on the top, not on this thing like middle. As you told, so you told that you have to put it in the middle. So my question was that whether we have to put it in the middle or to the top, because if you are putting on the top, so you're inserting the ice bar, the snow bar, snow bar, it's 90% into the ice, so it's, more snow, so more grip, more contraction kind of thing. So yeah, this is the question.
Yeah, I think you missed some points there. There are three ways of putting that. One is the vertical top clip, and the second one is the vertical mid clip. When is the vertical top clip? Of course, you put the clip, or you just tie a little bit of the line or something on the top hole there. Of course, you must put the whole snow bar all the time. That is, a little bit less stronger than the mid clip. Mid clip is where you were just tying the rope in the. Can I shake it now? Yeah. So this is the top clip. Okay. So when you put the snow bar on the top clip there, so when it comes there, it's that way you put there, and it should totally go inside the snow, and the pool is there. But the mid clip, the rope is coming from the top. Okay. But in the mid clip, there, or you tie this one, you put in the middle of it, you put snow bar, and then there's a trench. The snow bar will go totally in the snow, but there will be a trench from this middle portion. If we can go back to that screen, you'll see that.
Yes,
we get the record.
Got it.
So the mid clip, it will pull from the middle. So this will also inside the snow, this portion too. Okay. But there's a trench will be going down, like the T-bar. In the T-bar, this is inside the trench, but the snow is at this 1 feet above that. So just like that, instead of the T-bar, you just put the bar like this. In mid clip, you put the bar like that. That's the difference. But the trench goes on throughout there. I hope you got it.
Yeah, so I just missed that trench part. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other questions?
Anybody else has any questions? Okay, and I have a question. Actually, this is for both. This is my question. Huh? Nobody. And meanwhile, if anybody is asking a question, then you please put it in the chat box, and we will come to you. So meanwhile, I want to ask my question. My question both to Ranvir and to Debabrata is that, we have been seeing a lot of use of the polypropylene rope. What is your view on this, the use of for fixed rope in the mountains? Generally, we have been using polypropylene rope. I know
Yeah.
Ranvir and Debabrata both, you have used this polypropylene. If you tell me you have not used, then you are telling a lie. Both of you have used. I have also used. But what is the current thinking on this particular thing?
I think in India, generally, we think about the cost. I think we have all those jokes about the cost and all those things. So polypropylene is cheap, number one. And for a small mountain team or a team of 5 to 6 persons going on a fixed rope, it's enough to carry the load for us, because we don't use that much of technical routes, I would say. For semi-technical routes or the trekking routes, because most of the Indian expedition, except some, I think most of the people here, they do the technical expedition, I hope, and I just wish they do it. But most of the Indian expedition, they do go for the really technical peak. You can see that one, that the Bhagirathi 2 is, that go for the climbing every year 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. By the side, it was the only expedition by the girls, and then our expedition, the successful one, to Bhagirathi 3. Nobody goes for those things. So that's why there you cannot think of using that polypropylene rope. There we have to use proper fixed rope, because we are scared about that. Because the polypropylene rope might break. We can't keep the full, weight to that. We do that, we use that. And it's also lighter, polypropylene rope, doesn't weight so easily. So these are some of the benefits. And then yeah, you are back.
My views on this is we must always use polypropylene rope. Why not? It is lighter, it is easily available in the country, and cheaper also. And yes, one has to think at the same time where this polypropylene rope has to be really used. It should not be used in the very, very vertical climb, and it should not be used in the difficult terrain, and it should not be used in the exposed area. Otherwise, I think if it is used on a gradual slope, well and good. Why not?
Yeah, that's what I said, that we are using them. And most of the time, the Indian climbers, especially when we go for these kind of peaks or walking peaks or those kind of peaks, even we carry back most of the stuff. We use the same polypropylene rope as fixed rope for the next expedition. It's not that we leave the fixed ropes in the mountain. Nobody leaves even a single piece. Nobody think of leaving any piece, because it's so expensive for the Indians. So we just try to use those polypropylene ropes, some maybe multi times too.
Okay, good. I thank you for answering that question. There is a question from Ayush on B threads. So I'll just try and find Ayush. Okay, Ayush, you can ask your question.
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
So my question was basically when you spoke about V threads, I just wanted to ask how much stronger or more effective are they than using like a multi-anchor system to anchor self or create a belay point at any point during the ice climb?
I think I told you that is V threads are used only for keeping the mountain clean, and when you don't have equipments proper. Okay, so these are used, kind of substitutes in the end, and also to keep the mountain clean and bringing back all your equipments. So generally, we try to use when it's really needed. All your the equipment finished. It happened to our some expedition that we thought that 8 ice crew will be enough, and then we find that no, it is not enough, and we have to use the V thread. nothing to do. And I tell you that the V-thread should be, that's 21 centimeter length of the screw, and it should be 7 to 8 millimeter diameter. The thread should be 7 to 8 millimeter diameter. It should be, okay? And it's very strong. You can see that in that's a right condition. It can give you 40 kN. That means that's enough. If you are, nobody jumps on the billow ropes or when you were using a V-thread, and
True,
if
true.
you are scared, use two points. So if you use 2 points and properly equalize, it's more than enough. It can be easily, but condition of the eyes you have to learn with the experience, like Ranvir sir experience or Digambar sir experience there for the eyes conditions. They know which will not break or come out. Yeah, which I will use might break out. So that's the
Definitely.
thing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so thanks for all the interesting questions. I don't see any more questions here. So in that case, I will request Ranvir first and then Debabrata to give some final words of advice, and then we can end this session.
Sir, from my side, this was the first time I have spoken on the net
Little louder.
From my side, this is for me the first time I have spoken on the web lecture. And next time we will work again, and we will come out with the better performance, and hopefully everybody like it.
Yeah. In fact, I was a little bit nervous because I know that all these my SARs are there to check the conversation of what I'm saying, and all other mountaineers. I know that young mountaineers nowadays, they're very, very well informed, and that's really good. I like it, and people should be well informed because only the knowledge and experience can save you in the mountain. And of course, there are other things. As I said about anchoring and fixed roping too, check the places where you are putting your protection points. Don't be hurried. Like I like that question of that guy who asked me about the rocks, which is not the metamorphic rocks are there. These are questions you should have in mind, and to what kind of changes we should do in our thought process. We should think about that. The main thing is practice, practice, practice. That when I hang it there over here, I thought that what's the need? Then I thought, okay, let me practice at least once at home. So how it looks like, let me see. And it's okay, it looks nice. So at least, so you must practice not only in the mountain, at home too. Take care of, another thing is that we Indians are very bad in, taking care of our equipments. I must say, we must take care of the equipments. If you love your equipments, if you know how to use the equipment, you know how to survive then. Have your confidence, and thank you, the IMF for such a nice program. I don't know how much our program will help you, but at least it will help me to brush up my knowledge. Thank you very much.
So Ranvir, do you have any other demonstration that you want to give? Yesterday when we actually did a dry run, and Ranvir had some equipment set up. So is that something that is available, or?
Yeah. If anybody is interested to see how this is done, I can show the same on the with my door and the window, the portion basically. So if people are interested, I can go ahead.
Yes, please show us.
Sure.
Rohan. It will take a while, sir.
No problem.
Okay. So, yeah,
Debabrata,
you can put me, yes, you can put me up a little bit.
Debabrata, you want
It's
to
not much.
demonstrate something
Yeah,
then while he is setting up?
it's nothing that it is. It's just like that. I showed you that one just once given that multi-directional one. You just need to give one twist. You give two knots. One more thing I'd like to add, that is when you keep the knots, this should be as close as possible, because once you give the knots a little bit far away, it will give the jerk.
Yeah, इसको please घुमाना मेरी तरफ ठीक है.
So
So
once you
this
give
is
this one,
the
it moves.
so
One minute, one
okay.
minute.
It's there. Okay, he's back.
I think he's ready. So let him continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let
So
Yes.
the first of all, when you start with the roping up, the fixing rope, what you have to do is you have to stack the rope first on the ground, so that when you start the fixing it doesn't get entangled. Or like you can see, there is a knot in between. This knot has to be removed off and do it again. Okay. So what you basically do is you take the last end of this rope, you make this here, and this is my end, and Digamba Singh is my player. He's going to be from the climb. Like I said in the slide, that he has to, this belayer has to get self-anchored, and the climber have to get ready and geared up properly. So he can either give me waist belay, he can use devices like descender, put on his body harness, or he can put this here, putting one extra carabiner in it. So he is going to belay me this way. So when he belays, he will have to change this other side, because my side is going to be that side. So this is how it will go. I will keep going. My climb is the traverse. Once I reach here, I can prepare my, if I'm short of the rope, I can prepare my self anchor with the same rope and put my self anchor here. I'm safe now. I will clip, I will drive one more piton, be it on rock, on ice or snow, and make myself safe again. So here, I will ask him, I'm ready, and leave the rope, please. So he will undo himself from the rope, and what I will start doing is start coiling this rope with the butterfly knot. This way, all the way it will go like this. Yeah. So once I have done this much, I can either lock this. I'll double this rope. I can keep it here this way. And this rope finally will, I'll pull or try and pull the slack very, very tight to the carabiner here. Putting clove hitch in it. Clove hitch is very popular now. I hope everybody knows this. Those who have done mountaineering courses. So what you have to do first is remove this carabiner, tighten this, and go close. I'll have to keep it loose, otherwise all my handle of the house will come off. So once I've reached here, I'll call the belayer. He'll put two self anchor here and traverse along the come close. So here he put his self anchor in the same anchor where I have put my self anchor. And from here, this rope which is left over, you can drop it on this thing here. And from here, I will undo my self anchor. Actually, there must be one extra self anchor prepared because of lack of equipment with me here in the Dehradun. I have just managed it out of the same rope only. So he will put the rope through the carabiner, and I'll keep traversing this way. So once I reach here, so okay, wait. My self anchor will and remain here on the this thing, and I will pull whole lot of slack with me with the same method. Again, this can remain here in the second anchor. So now, this anchor also has to be very, very tight. Okay. From here, I will have to improvise vertical. Now I think I can remove my self anchor from this and start making with the window here. Okay. So we will have to assume that this rope is vertical one. Okay. And this rope has to have a slack. So on this rope, our climb is finished. Here we are going to unrope up, and from here onward we are going to rappel down. So on this rope, for the rappelling, I was mentioning that one must rappel with the carabiner brake. All my carabiner is placed. एक carabiner, एक और. So actually, when I use carabiner, like I mentioned earlier, also this carabiner has to be which is going to be connected with the three harness. It has to be screw gate always, because of lack of carabiner. Screw gate carabiner I'm using the plain carabiner. So here I'll pull the rope this way and clip this carabiner here. So when I rappel down on this, this goes straight, doesn't make kink on this. So that was the all I wanted to mention in the fixed rope.
Okay, thank you very
So
much.
that was it, the fixed rope demonstration I could manage inside Zoom.
Wonderful, thank you so much. It is nice of you to have done this inside your house. We also managed to visit your house, this bargain. Also,
Sure, sir, you all are most welcome.
we will actually come, and you must, host all the people who have attended this lecture in Dehradun as soon as this
Sure.
thing is over. So there is one. There was one question from Abhijit Basu. He is saying at the end of rappelling down, the equipment like snow bar can't be removed. Is it true?
Snow bar can't be removed. Yes, snow bar can be removed. Snow stake can be removed. There is a technique which is called when you drive the snow stakes into snow. In the bottom of, if there is a hole in the bottom of the snow stake, it can be pulled out. Otherwise, people substitute that anchor with the ice axe. So ice axe always have a hole in the bottom. Many of the ice axe, the old ice axe, if you see, there will be a hole, and a sling is passed through a hole, and that sling is taken out from the anchor, and rope is distributed into two parts. The one part is used for rappelling, other part is used for pulling the rope down, and there is a technique, retrieval system of ice axe, and it comes out when you pull the other end of the rope.
Put me on my screen. I can show that one maybe. Put me on my screen.
Yeah, maybe they will have those all slides.
Yeah, the slides I can just try to show that one. So can you see me? I can't see.
No, your video is
My
off.
screen?
You turned your video off. We can't see you.
No, I can't. I'm on. Okay, then forget about
Your
that.
video
It's
is
just
off.
easy, as you say. That is, my video is on. It says that the video is on. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
But we can't see you, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so it's easy thing. That is what you said. That that is there is another hole in the bottom of that, and you just tie one end of the second rope, and you just follow that with the top of the bring it out with the top of the the snow stack. If you
Yeah,
that,
you even can retrieve the piton, ice piton also.
Yeah,
There is a
the right
technique
rope
called
you need to
retrieval
pull.
system
You
of
cannot
ice
push.
piton also. Yeah.
Yes. You just screen it, opposite screen is that does.
Yeah.
Just make a hook, everything could be taken out. But generally, you say when people do that, the rappelling in the snow, it's it's maybe that it's possible. So you can use that bollard, or you can use a dead boy, and dead boy is easier to pull out than
double the rope and the rappel on it, and
Yes.
you can retrieve everything
Can
down.
do that. And for the ice screw, as we said, that you can use the Avalakov. Always you can use the V thread. without leaving anything, you can come
Yes.
down.
Okay, so thanks a lot. I think we are almost at the end of the time. There's one small observation from Vikram Malik, and he's saying that while traversing, the climber's self-anchor should be really short one.
Yes.
And,
Yes. It should be short one, and it should not be more than 1.5 feet. Actually.
Good. So that was a good observation. We don't have any other questions. So I think we can end this today's workshop. It was very nice. I think very good. Thank you both. Thanks to both of you. We'll be having our next you watch out for the announcements for our next workshops. Some people may have already registered, but Ashutosh Mishra will be telling us about how to use Google Maps for navigation. That is our next session. And those who have not registered, you can please register. Remember that we have got only 100 registrations. We can't take more than 100. So register early. But thank you very much. Thanks to all for participating, and thanks to everyone for organizing this wonderful workshop. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, and see you again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.